Imagine this. You wake up, go about your day, and suddenly, half your body goes numb. You try to speak, but the words won't come out. You're alert but trapped inside your own mind. That's a stroke. And it happens to millions of people every year, often with no warning. But here's the truth. Stroke isn't just a random event. In most cases, it builds up silently, over time, inside your body, inside your blood vessels. Today on MedicStein, we'll expose the real causes of stroke, the ones no one talks about, and most importantly, how you can stop it before it stops you. What is a stroke, really? Let's start with what stroke actually is. Most people think it's just a brain attack, and that's partially true. A stroke happens when the brain doesn't get enough blood. And remember, your brain needs a constant supply of oxygen. Even a few minutes without it can cause permanent damage. There are two main types of stroke. Ischemic stroke, this is the most common type, accounting for about 87% of all strokes. It happens when a blood clot blocks a vessel, cutting off oxygen to part of your brain. Hemorrhagic stroke, less common but more deadly. This is when a blood vessel ruptures, causing bleeding in or around the brain. There's also something called a mini-stroke or TIA, transient ischemic attack. It only lasts a few minutes, but it's a huge red flag. It means a major stroke could be coming. The real causes of stroke, what's happening inside your body. Now, let's get into the core of this video. What really causes stroke? Not just the surface-level causes, but what's happening internally, often without you realizing. 1. High blood pressure, the #1 hidden killer. If there's one thing you should take seriously after watching this video, it's high blood pressure. Here's why. High blood pressure puts intense strain on your arteries. Over time, that pressure causes small tears in the inner lining of blood vessels. Your body tries to heal those tears, but that healing forms scar tissue and plaque. Now, imagine your arteries as water pipes. What happens when pressure builds up inside weak pipes? They burst or they clog. That's stroke. The worst part, most people with high blood pressure don't feel it. That's why it's called the silent killer. 2. Diabetes. More than just high blood sugar. Diabetes doesn't just raise blood sugar, it also damages blood vessels. High glucose makes your arteries stiff, thick, and narrow. It also makes blood stickier, increasing the chance of clots. In fact, having diabetes doubles your risk of stroke. Yet many people walk around with undiagnosed or uncontrolled diabetes and don't realize the damage is being done daily. 3. Smoking. Poison for your arteries. We all know smoking is bad, but do you know what it really does inside your body? Cigarette smoke contains chemicals that thin and damage the lining of your blood vessels. It increases inflammation, causes cholesterol to build up, and makes your blood thicker and more prone to clotting. If you smoke, your stroke risk goes up by at least 2 to 4 times, even if you're young. 4. High cholesterol, clogs in the highway. Think of cholesterol like traffic on a highway. Too much bad cholesterol LDL causes plaques to form inside your arteries. Those plaques narrow the passageways and can break off, forming clots that travel to your brain. That's why strokes often seem so sudden, because the clot hits the brain like a car crash. 5. Atrial fibrillation, an irregular threat. Atrial fibrillation is an irregular heartbeat. You might not feel it, but what it does is allow blood to pool and clot inside the heart, and those clots can travel directly to the brain. It's one of the most overlooked causes of stroke, especially in older adults. 6. Obesity and inactivity, slow killers. Being overweight isn't just about appearance, it's about risk. Excess fat leads to chronic inflammation, high blood pressure, diabetes, and poor circulation, all of which contribute to stroke. And a sedentary lifestyle. It slows down your blood flow, weakens your heart, and increases clot risk. 7. Alcohol and substance abuse, not just a party problem. Excessive alcohol intake raises blood pressure, damages vessels, and disrupts heart rhythm. It also weakens the liver, which plays a role in clotting. Over time, alcohol quietly erodes your vascular health. Silent symptoms and early warnings. A stroke doesn't always give you time, but sometimes the body whispers before it screams. Learn this acronym. FAST. F. Face drooping. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call emergency services. But other subtle signs include sudden vision loss, dizziness or loss of balance, severe headache with no known cause, confusion or memory fog. Don't wait. If something feels off, it's better to be wrong than too late. How to prevent stroke, your action plan. Here's the powerful truth. Up to 80% of strokes are preventable. That's not hope, that's science. 1. Know your numbers. Blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, monitor them regularly. Aim for BP below 120/80ths mmHg. Keep HbA1c under control if diabetic. 2. Eat like your life depends on it, because it does. Cut down processed foods, trans fats, and excess salt. Eat more vegetables, berries, omega-3 south like salmon, and whole grains. 3. Move daily. Even 30 minutes of walking reduces stroke risk. Sedentary for too long, get up every hour. 4. Quit smoking. The risk drops significantly within just weeks of quitting. 5. Limit alcohol. No more than 1 drink per day or none at all. 6. Manage stress. Chronic stress raises blood pressure and inflammation. Meditate, breathe, talk to someone, sleep,